Rita Dairit and this is Buhay Parang Life, where we discuss issues about this thing called life. Thank you, my dear viewers, for tuning into this episode. I invite you to please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook page. Buhay Parang Life is part of FaithWatch TV, and I ask you to download the FaithWatch app on your mobile device. We read and value your comments, so please feel free to write down your comments and suggestions below. In this episode, we have a young man who I met in one of the conferences in the Eucharistic Youth Congress. He is based in Naga. I am thankful that he gave time for this interview. Please welcome to Buhay Parang Life, Val Dominic Monit. Hi, Val.
Good day sa ating listeners and viewers, no, sa Buhay Parang Life. Hello. Thank you, Tita Rita, for inviting me in this program. No, I'm glad to be able to share my insights and reflections as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Alam niyo po, my dear viewers, si Val po ay head campus minister sa Ateneo de Naga University Junior High School. So sabi ko nga when I met him, head campus minister? Ito ba yung talagang gusto mong gawin? What did you study in college, Val?
I used to be an English teacher, Tita. So I am an ABBSA English graduate. So secondary education, AB English, combined course. And I used to teach English literature sa Ateneo de Naga Junior High School for like 3 years. And then, parang a Jesuit, kasi the Ateneo de Naga is run by the Jesuits, a Jesuit invited me to become a campus minister. At first I said no, kasi anong gagawin ko doon?
Teacher ka talaga?
Yes po. I am a licensed professional teacher.
You are a licensed professional teacher. Is there a teacher in your family? What made you decide to become a teacher? Usually men, ang teaching, sa bagay marami na yatang lalaki ngayon, but it is usually a women's field. And it is a wonder, hindi nga yan profession vocation nga ang teacher What made you go into teaching?
Yes, my sister is actually a teacher. And then back in the days when I was much younger than I am now, I wanted to be a priest talaga, yun yung parang childhood dream, no? But then parang sabi ko, naku, nakakatakot yung mission ng priest. You get to be sent anywhere. Parang hindi ko yun kaya. So since madaldal nga po ako, no, so how else can I use my my speaking skills? Then teaching. Eventually fell in love with it, and there, yeah.
Are you born and raised in Naga?
Yes po, in Camarines Sur actually.
In Camarines Sur.
In a town beside Naga.
Okay, hindi mo naisip mag-Manila?
Hindi po. Studying in Manila, yes, but working there, no, it's not.
Did you study in Manila or did you study in Naga or Kamsur?
I studied in Ateneo de Naga, college and graduate school in Ateneo de Naga, yes.
Your graduate school
as well.
Anong graduate school mo?
I graduated Master in Language and Literature just this year.
Hindi ka ba nami-miss ng language o ng English department ng Ateneo? Kasi parang teka lang, may masters ka sayang naman.
Yeah, I've been trying to go back to teaching, Tita, for the past few years. But there's still a mission in campus ministry. So I decided to stay.
Okay, let's talk about your campus ministry. You said earlier that you initially did not want. There was hesitancy on your part when you were given this task. Ano yung hesitancy mo?
Because I have no training in campus ministry. I have no degree in theology. I had no training in youth ministry. Parang this was the first time that I will become a formator, no? But since in the Ateneo, since in the Ateneo, parang it's impressed on us that all of us are formators anyway, and we receive a lot of formation in the Ateneo de Naga through the Office of Mission and Identity. So parang may pa-konti-konting input on what is Ignatian spirituality, how do you process yourself, how do you get to know yourself better. So may gano'n naman, no? But at first, ayoko talaga.
Anong sinabi mo doon sa ano ba yan? Rector ba yan?
O, yeah, our principal.
Your principal. Okay, anong sabi mo? Did you ask why? Bakit
Yeah,
ako?
I asked why.
He must have seen something in you to invite you, right? To the
Yes.
ministry.
Mm-mm. Yeah, Father
Ano kaya yung
Buboy.
nakita niya?
Yeah, the late Father Buboy, he already passed away, last 2009 in 2019. So Father
Okay.
Buboy was our principal, and we were having a camp in school, and I was invited to be one of the facilitators, small group facilitators for that camp. So my group was in the seminar hall, no, in the plenary hall, and but I was processing the experience of the students. And Father Buboy was preparing for his talk, no?
Okay.
So, na-overhear niya yung paano mag-question, how I process the students.
All
Sabi niya,
right.
from there, parang sabi niya, uy, may potential siya,
May
ganyan.
potential. Correct.
Mm.
Mhm.
And eventually, yun, he invited me. And I said no 3 times, no?
So,
Uh,
nag-no ka, pero hindi ka niya tinantanan? Binalik-balikan ka niya?
medyo
Ano
ganun
yung
po,
reason mo
ano?
nung una? Wala kang lack of experience?
Lack of experience yung una, no? Sabi ko, no,
Okay.
father, lack of experience yung first. And then
All
after a
right.
few months, pinatawag niya ulit ako. Sabi ko, father, may mga mas qualified in terms of degree, in terms of, masters in theology, ganyan, no? So sila na lang, no?
Sila na lang.
And no pa rin. And after a few months, no, we had this session with Father J. Boy Gonzalez, the one of the Jesuits in Ateneo de Davao. No, he had the
Mhm.
session with him. He shared how he does campus ministry in Ateneo de Davao, and I felt inspired because in Ateneo de Davao, their students were parang playing music, were staying in the campus ministry office, they were doing a lot of activities with arts, and nakaka-amaze, no? So
Na
sabi ko,
parang yun pala, it's part
yeah,
pala yun, hindi puro yung theology part na medyo yung hesitancy mo eh. Teka, hindi ako theology major eh.
yeah.
Ah,
And
all
then after nung session na yun, I think 2 weeks later, no, Father Buboy called for me again. And then sabi ko, sige Father, I will try. Just a year, no, just
just a
for a
year.
year. And
Uh-huh.
then sabi ko, just give me the training that I have to go to. Send me to seminars, no, allow me to know what really is campus ministry. And from there, maybe we can, extend. So that was in 2019, and now it's 2023, and I'm still in campus ministry.
So pinadala ka niya, nag-aral-aral ka, you attended seminars.
Yes. Yeah, the first one that I joined was the workshop with the RVM sisters on retreat and recollection facilitation, RFS, no?
All
That
right.
was in Calamba. That was in the first time that I joined a formal training for retreat and recollection giving. And then followed by a lot of other sessions, formation programs with the Jesuits, with the for Ignatian Spirituality. But
Right.
I'm yet to undergo their course. They have a course, an entire course on spiritual direction. No? That's what I'm going to take soon. No? But
Parang
and
pangpari na yan ah.
hindi po open for lay partners po talaga
Huli,
siya.
all right. Oo.
And
All
then he
right.
also sent me to various Ateneos, no, just to ask around campus ministers in Xavier School, in Ateneo de Cagayan, in Ateneo de Davao, no, and learned a lot and brought a lot home to
What
Naga
a-
as well.
So nung una kang napasabak, uh,
Mhm.
how was it like or what was it like? May group of students,
Mhm.
you were introduced to them. How did
Mhm.
it happen?
In Ateneo de Naga, all students are required to go to recollections and retreats once a year. So parang meron na talaga kaming set program
Yes.
for retreat and recollections.
Mhm.
Required. Hindi sila pwedeng mag-move up to the next grade level
Pag
without
walang
going.
recollection.
Yeah. And they cannot
Okay.
even graduate without a retreat. No? So that's the first. Um, the first parang concern that I had was the principal died. No? Uh, Father Buboy died. He was supposed to train me. No? Liturgy is also under my office. Masses, confessions, all of these other spiritual activities are also under my office. I had very little knowledge in liturgy, no? So, parang he was supposed to teach me about that.
Okay.
So, on the day that I was supposed to travel to Laguna for RFS, the one that I mentioned earlier,
Right,
with
right.
RVM sisters, he died, no? So at 12 noon, I received the email from the university president telling that Father Celerio has died. No? So,
So it was
ano
a
yun?
sudden death. Sudden
It
death
was a
pala.
sudden death. He was very young.
Okay.
Not even 50s yet.
All right.
Um, so sabi ko, naku, ano to? Should I
Mhm.
continue with who will be my guide, no? Who will be my
Correct.
model?
So sino
Because,
yung mentor mo? Because he was the one
yes.
who invited you. All right.
And eventually, no, I wasn't there during his wake. I wasn't there during his funeral, no.
Because you
We
were
were
in Laguna
because
studying,
I yes,
you were not allowed to go back. Was
for
there
for
no
eight
parang
days. It was an 8-day training. We had to finish the 8 days. And I had to go through it because when I go back to Naga by June, recollections will start. So I have no other time to
kailangan
study.
tapusin mo? Parang masakit yun.
Yes. It was a very painful experience actually. And I was filled with doubt, no? How would I be able to do these things, no? By the grace of God, no, and the Spirit, in Naga we welcomed two more Jesuits, parang in place, and one of them was a chaplain, and Father Harvey eventually became my mentor in many
All right.
things,
Okay.
in spirituality, in retreat giving, in liturgy, no, and I'm very thankful, no, for Father Harvey Mateo, our chaplain,
All right.
who eventually trained me to be there, to be to know what I had to know and to guide me also in my journey as a campus minister
All
there.
right. So tell us, share with us your observations about the young people of today. With
Mhm.
junior high school, you handle junior high school or
Yes.
the, junior high school. So kahit
Mhm.
paano, even if you're a young man, mas matanda ka sa kanila, you are a different generation.
Yes.
What is your observation about the junior high schools of this generation?
So the students we minister to are from ages 11 to 16. The oldest are 16 years old or
All right,
17 years
all
old.
right. Pero
And
11, anong panahon ko, bata pa yan eh. Is
bata
it
pa
still
yun.
bata pa up to now?
Yes. Grade 7 is usually ganyan. Mga 11 and 12, and then grade 10 is ano. So medyo may gap talaga po.
May
Even in
gap
terms
eh,
of
kasi
their
parang ang
behavior.
babata and then ito,
Mga
nagbibilata.
ano na, bibibili na tayo, yes.
All right.
We can actually see, napakaganda actually when you start to see them in grade 7, and then by the time they graduate, they look like a different person. It's amazing. So these students, they belong to generation Z, no, for the
All right.
past few years. And
Gen
now
Z.
this year, yeah, we're welcoming the Alpha generation. This our grade
Ano
7
ang
students.
alpha generation?
That's the next generation after
At
Gen
ilang
Z.
taon
Born
sila
in
ngayon?
born in 2010.
Born
So
in 2010. So
so
your
they're
observations about the Gen Z. Gen
the
Z
Gen Z.
generation as opposed to your generation.
Malayo po, no? Ako, I claim to be part of Gen Z because medyo nasa transition year ako
Transition year.
ng millennial and ng Gen Z. So,
Correct.
um, um, for the past few years, no, I've been working with with Gen Z in terms of art projects, campus ministry projects. They're very comfortable in working, in collaborating, no? Not only physical collaboration but online collaboration.
Sanay na
Uh,
sanay sila yung
Sanay-sanay
teamwork.
na sila. Yes. Effect ata siya ng pandemic, no? That they're very open sa online activities. We're
Ah,
even producing a musical na hindi kami nag-meet face to face. We're just writing the story, writing the songs online, no?
parang
Napakagaling nila sa ganyan.
parang walang kahirap-hirap sa kanila. It was like second nature to them, no?
Yes.
Unlike many my generation, parang halos sumasakit ang mga tiyan namin. Pero sila, okay,
Very
so
comfortable.
collaborative. All right.
And then, in terms of faith naman, they have a lot of questions about the faith. They do not just uh, take in traditions. No? These are, if they don't have meaning to them personally, these are things that are questionable, like tradition. Even the way that they look at, the very existence of God is also different. During our time, when you ask or when you proudly say that you doubt the existence of God, naku, titingnan ka ng masama ng mga tao sa paligid mo, no? But in
Oo,
their
nag-Ateneo
generation,
ka ba talaga? Yung mga, Catholic ka ba talaga?
but in their generation, it's like a natural thing. Talaga, mag-uusapan lang nila yan. Even the way that they look at gender, for example. During our time, when you publicly claim that you're gay or that you're member of the LGBT community, titingnan ka talaga ng masama, ibubuli ka pa ng mga tao. But in their generation, iba, no? They're very much welcoming of various of gender fluidity, as they call it, no?
Right.
So the work of a campus minister then is redefined, no? The way I see it, I shouldn't just be an imposer of I shouldn't just be imposing tradition, no? Instead, I should be speaking with these students, journeying with them, trying to answer their questions as we go through. Last year, no? Just last year, we had a lot of students in grade 9, no? Kasi before we start the retreat, I will ask them to close their eyes, to bow down, and to raise their hand if their answer to the following questions is yes. Number 1, do you believe in God? Taas yung kamay yung niwala. If you doubt the existence of God, taas na kamay yung mga niniwala. And the last one is you think there is no God, taas ng kamay yung mga naniniwala na walang Diyos, ganyan.
Meron nagtaas ng kamay?
Meron. In every class, there would be at least 7 to 10 students who would either be doubting God or believing that God does not exist. However, the consolation is, after that session, after that retreat, no, so I know how to approach the types of questions that I have to ask, the types of things that I have to parang drive as points.
Right.
After the recollection, after the retreat, no, I asked them again the next day the same 3 questions. And gladly, bumawas na sila. There would just be 3.
Bumawas na.
But the real reason why they said, no, that they were doubting God, that they think there is no God, are reasons that are very much answerable by basic theology. No? Bakit maraming masamang nangyayari kung merong
Ay,
Diyos?
yung mga ganun.
Bakit namamatay tayo sa COVID kung merong Diyos?
Merong Diyos.
So these are questions madali namang masagot basta lang merong tamang guide. So this is what I see in Gen Z, and it's not entirely a bad thing. Those very students na nagtaas ng kamay na hindi, walang Diyos, ganyan. Now they're making art, they're making reflections, they're writing music that are praising God, no? And even if these are just, a number of students, just to change their mindset and make them see that there's so much more to religion than just traditions that if they feel that they are imposed on them, is something that I think we have to celebrate. Yeah.
All right. All right. Coming from me being in my generation, top of my mind is, teka lang, kailangan, di ba, as a campus minister, you would be teaching them what is right. But I guess you are, but in a different manner, not
Yes.
imposing.
Yes.
Yeah. And Ateneo de Naga, is that high school is a co-ed?
Yes, it is co-education. We have female students and male students. Yes.
All right. How are they in relationships with one another? Because pag high school, may attraction na yan. Have you encountered like a difficult problem in that aspect?
Actually, based sa observation ko lately, and comparing it to when I was in high school, because I went to the same school.
Correct.
They're less physical than we were when we were in high school. I mean,
all right.
There are less cases of, scandals.
Teenage pregnancies.
We have no case of teenage pregnancy at Ateneo de Naga.
Oh, that is good.
And, parang they're more conscious now about boundaries.
That is good to know.
Compared to our time, that Parang, sige lang.
Parang mas open, mas open. And there's a question nagging me. A nagging question inside me.
Go ahead po.
Did it ever happen that a student, male and or female, expressed their attraction for you?
To me?
Yeah, yung, oh, sir, crush kita, love kita. And male and female, ha? Kasi nga, di ba? Di ba? Because I've seen
Like,
yung papo kang bata eh.
nako. Hindi po, tita. Parang hindi ako benta sa kanila. They actually perceive me, perceive me as older.
Talaga? Kasi,
Yes.
it has happened, right? Per a teacher-student relationship, even
Yeah.
among the boys.
Gladly wala naman pong
Gladly.
case.
I'm glad to hear that. Okay. So you spoke about, parang about them and it's very positive. But what about like frustrations about their generation?
Frustrations about Gen Z. Ano lang, I think masyadong mabagal. Masyadong mabagal makita ang fruits ng programs. You cannot see immediately the results of what you're doing, no? I think that's my frustration. But with the kids themselves, ano lang, siguro pero wala naman ako nakikitang masyadong frustration sa kanila kasi the lens that I'm using in campus ministry is accompaniment.
Lens. Yeah, it depends on the lens that you are
Journey,
using.
journeying with them. So if we journey, if my lens is to walk with them, to journey with them towards God, parang mahirap makakita ng frustrations. But I
Wow,
think
talaga
yung
naman.
yung
Tapos
frustration ko is on my end because I want things to be hurried, no? Gusto ko pagsimba nila, malakas agad sila kumanta, malakas sila agad sumagot, no?
Ay,
Um,
yun.
yun yung frustration ko on my end na, no? Na,
On your end.
yeah,
Parang gusto mo makarating na doon sa gusto mo, yun na sila ay buong-buong maka-Diyos.
yes.
Yung buong-buong
But
maka-Diyos,
yeah, and
no?
I,
Na
I have to
naniniwala.
keep on reminding myself na it is not the school that has the primary duty to evangelize. It is the family, right? CCC tells us it's the parents who are the first evangelizers.
I am about to go there. So what is the role of the family? And I'm sure you have encountered, what do you call this? The, ang, okay, quotation marks, dysfunctional families. There are
Yes.
some children that has not been taught about
Mhm.
Catholic values at home.
Yes.
Ano yung nakita mong role ng family sana? Yung sana ang mga magulang nito ginaganito to, tinuturo ito.
Yeah. The main problem po na we encounter, no, is kapag hindi pareho ang value system ng family sa value system na gustong i-impose ng school, no?
Correct.
Yung diyan po nagro-root ng ang lahat ng problema. Hindi lang spiritual problems, but even disciplinary problems. Kapag hindi pa pareho yung value system na ini-impose ni Ateneo sa ini-impose ng parent, may problema. Because
So how do you solve a problem like that? Yung
yeah,
maybe
gladly, no, gratefully, ano naman, students are very obedient to whatever the formators and the teachers are saying, no. So we're very heavy at with the value called to become men and women for others. Yun yung value system na gusto naming magawa, tumulong sa iba, maging tao para sa kapwa. And gladly, no, even if parents are not as supportive to, these kinds of programs, the students would have to really look for ways to help. If they cannot help financially because their parents are not giving them enough resources, or if wala talaga, no, they help in other ways. They help in manpower, they help in creative. So may may source of consolation pa rin that the students may talab sa estudyante yung ginagawa ng formators and ng teachers ng Ateneo de Naga. Pero sana, no, we just pray and hope. We actually just tell this to the parents of Ateneo de Naga Junior High School na sana they would teach their their children, the same values that we wish to impose in the Ateneo de Naga. The parents should also know the mission and vision of the school, no, and why we do a lot of things, no, why we fight for social justice, why we inculcate the importance of standing for the poor and for the dignity of others, no.
Right, right.
Um, these are things na minsan the parents read as nako political, parang aktivista, no.
Para aktivista.
This is
So
just
how
what
do
the
you
church
how
is
do you
doing.
respond to that accusation?
Um, the university itself has stood its ground sa mga ganyang issues. When it comes to human rights, when it comes to historical denialism, the Ateneo de Naga University has a firm stand. And our response is it's part of the package that you enrolled your children into. When they come to the Ateneo, they learn about Catholic values, they learn about the social teachings of the church, they
Right.
learn about Laudato Si, and they learn to stand for truth, for justice, and peace. So, kung ayaw niyo nito, then maybe it's time to look for another school.
Biglang ganon. Halloween, ako yung anak nyo. Or,
Joke lang po.
how do you
Joke
see
po.
these children in the future, the ones that you are handling right now,
Handling.
what that you have ministering to is a better word. The children that you are ministering to right now, how do you want to see them in the future?
Yeah. The first thing, of course, is we hope that they can become men and women for others. To be able to use their talents and skills to be in the service of other people, to be in the service of the church, to be in the service of the country. Second, we hope that they can build a hope-filled future, no? Kinabukasang may pag-asa, not only for themselves, not only for their families, but more importantly for the Bicol region, which is one of the poorest regions in the country. Our province is one of the poorest provinces in the country. We tell our students repeatedly that even if you go abroad, even if you are very successful in whatever field you have in the future, always go back to Bicol, to your home of meanings, to the happy place, to Naga, and help, especially Ateneo de Naga, in its mission. No? So yun, those are the three things: to be men
Is
and women
that
for
why
others.
you are is that
Yeah.
why you are staying put in Bicol? Galing ka
Yes.
bata. Ang galing ka bata. How can NGOs like, Pro-Life Philippines Foundation, how can, this or communities help Gen Z? Or
Mm.
how can we, the older generation, be of help to the Gen Z?
The Gen Z is a very politically and socially active generation. A study by Gil Cornelio of Ateneo de Manila, meron siyang paper on this. He says that for this generation, for the youth now, right believing is less important than right living. Ibig sabihin, they don't care if whatever they believe in is correct or not, so long as what they are doing is helpful to others. So it's a generation that's passionate about social action. I think we have to look at their generation as that. No, we've seen this in many cases. We've seen this in the elections. We've seen this in many organizations now who have a lot of youth members. Active sila when it comes to helping others.
Correct.
And so mahalaga that we allow them to have the opportunity to take part in these actions. Especially when especially on the issue of being pro-life or pro-choice. No, this is an issue that's big in their generation, and they can only, I believe, no, they can only find its meaning and understand it well if they are immersed in that work of being pro-life. What does it really mean to be pro-life? That there's more to it than just a debate among progressives, but may literal siya at may tunay siyang ground sa society. Yun yung mahalaga sa Gen Z, that everything that they think about, they do, is grounded on reality, authentic. Yeah.
Grounded on reality. How can you, or do you think it is part of your role as a campus minister
Mhm.
to ensure that they become good Catholics. I am hearing social action, so
Yes.
politically correct, or for
Yes. Yes.
others. Even the non-Catholics do that.
Yes.
Do you think is how do you think it is your role to bring them
Yes.
back to Catholic values, and how do you plan to do it?
Yes. It is our primary goal to
Kasi, di
raise
ba?
students,
Right?
yes, in the light of Catholic and Ignatian spirituality. Importante that they become Catholics, that they see the value of the Eucharist, that they understand what we mean, what the magisterium is teaching. No, these are things that um, we address, we teach our students. That's why actually in this year in my work as campus minister, I am not just it's no longer just campus ministry, but it's integrated campus ministry, meaning the theology aspect, the Christian living education aspect is now under my office. So I'm also head of the Christian living education department, which is taking on the academic role of teaching the students how to be Catholic, no? So dun tinuturo ang sacraments, dun tinuturo
Correct.
ang church history, doon tinuturo ang scripture, doon tinuturo ang morality, no? So under na din siya ng campus ministry. Kasi
Oh,
the Ateneo de Naga Junior High School saw na hindi pwedeng separate itong dalawa. They have to be integrated.
yes.
Whatever we do in campus ministry should also be done in Christian living education. It's now called Faith Formation Program. So in my role now as head campus minister is to make sure, no, that all of these um, lessons on Catholicism, the curriculum, the formation of our students as Catholic, as good Catholics, should be followed. So dapat marunong silang sumimba, no? Magsimba, no? At hindi
Correct.
lang symbol ang pagtingin nila sa Eucharist, that it is the real body of Christ. Maybe from there, no, we
Yes.
can a better understanding of the supreme act of worship, I think, is one of the ways that we may make sure that our students are become good Catholics, and
Thank
eventually we move forward from there.
I am happy to hear that. So, are you ready for the alpha generation?
Nako, we are welcoming them now in grade 7, no?
Anong
And
nakikita
really,
mong kaibahan nung itong Gen Z ang grade 7 at itong bagong mga batang
yeah,
alpha?
Alpha is more expressive, is
Explain.
more they're different. They were born with a cell phone on their hands. They're they're really different. They're a different generation, and
How
we
are
can
you
see them.
preparing yourself?
Nako, I am trying to read more about them actually kasi kulang pa yung literature. But in terms of the way that we deal with them, they're more expressive. Hindi sila magdadalawang isip na magtanong, bakit namin to kailangan gawin?
Di nagdadalawang isip. So, mahirap utusan basta-basta, no?
Yeah,
Mahirap basta.
even
Mapapasubo ka dyan in terms of discussions, no?
even the priests, no, sinabihan sila nung itago mo yung coins mo kasi nasa session tayo, no? Sabi ng
Oo.
estudyante, why? Why should I keep my coins?
Yan mga why.
Sabi ko, nako, ganyan ba talaga sila, no?
Okay. Having been, immersed with young students, final message to parents. Kasi
Mm,
yan kaya humihirap o dumadali ang iyong trabaho is because of family life. Words
yes.
to the parents of this
Yeah.
generation.
So dear parents, no, we hope that faith starts from home, no, and we hope that we can continue partnering with you actually as youth ministers. As I always say to our parents in the Ateneo, the campus ministry office the school is only here to enhance the spiritual and faith formation of our students, but the primary responsibility is in your hands. So we hope and pray that we continue to guide our children, your children, to become, good Catholics, good Christians. More importantly, that we become more understanding of their strife. No, sometimes it's what they're saying, how they do things is different from the way that we used to do things. But there's also value in what they are going through. They see the world differently. but we can lead them to the truth through accompaniment by listening, by working with them. So thank you.
Very well said. Thank you so much, Bal. And thank you, my dear viewers, for watching this episode. This is Rita David reminding you today, haba-habaan po ang pasensya sapagkat ang buhay parang life.